Hello and welcome to episode 26 of our Ostriv Alpha 4.6 Let's Play. It's January of 1760 in our town. We have 1,043 residents. We've gotten a lot done past couple episodes. This episode we're going to focus on optimizing some production and expanding a little bit of population as well. And we've got all sorts of different stuff we can get going on. Chiefly though, I want to make sure that we will never have another firewood debacle like we did previously. We should have a pretty good amount. Yeah, we have almost 90,000 stored, so I think we're probably okay. I do have warehouses at most of the granaries having, or nearby at least, having firewood stored up. Not all of them, though. So we're going to be adding a little bit. We can go ahead and start right here at this one. Just go ahead and pop 2 of these right here. Going up to the next one. Okay, there's already one here, so that's fine. I believe this one is going to have nothing really close by. There's also not really a great place to put another warehouse, but we could probably get away with something maybe in this general area. We can go ahead and put 2 right next to each other like there, and then we can probably come next door, put in a well that our population can take advantage of. And then we go down here to this general area. It's not really a formal market setup so much. The tavern seems to be doing quite well. They have 1,200 wealth. But we have firewood stored here, so I'm not worried about that. And that brings us right back around down here. So we're in pretty good shape for firewood in terms of logistics for storing it. They're generating plenty of it. Now, if you remember last episode, we did talk about up here having these reforestation areas all ready to go. So we're going to leave that alone. It seems to be working pretty well. Go ahead and put that on the 12 times speed. So I think we're going to be in pretty good shape. We did build some more houses in this general area. We put all these new chicken coops in. Those are, of course, doing work. I do remember saying we were going to do something more with cows. We don't have another farm down here, so if we had any more cows, it would probably be annoying because they'd have to go all the way across the map. So we might not do that exactly in that spot, but while we're at it, we can go ahead and get a couple of these bulls taken care of before the spring. Yeah, there's quite a lot of them. This, of course, being to allow us to get more milk because more female cows gives you more milk, as could, you know, logically be expected. Just a little bit more of this to take care of everything else we need to take care of. We got a lot in here. Lots and lots and lots. And we're back to square one. So that was a productive thing to do. Now these warehouses are complete. Let's take a look at our supply issues for some of this stuff. I think we're going to have one that's going to be full of firewood, and then one that can be the rest of these 3 things. So we'll go ahead and get started with firewood. Put that at 10k like we always do. And then this one can be clothing, shoes, and warm clothing. We'll just go for 33 of everything because why not? Make it equally divisible. And then, of course, copy all of our settings here. See what this messenger is wanting. Go ahead and sell some of this stuff. 2,000 clothing, why not? We have plenty of iron ore, so we can easily take advantage of that. How's our sheep farms looking? Okay, so this is not overloaded with wool like it was last time. That's good to know. Yeah, we have some sort up here. But it probably will be. I wonder. We increase all of this to 4,000. That ought to help us out a little bit, because I know they can only make so much at a time. I think it might be 500 maximum before it has to go somewhere else. Okay, so this warehouse is done. This one up here. We'll go ahead and do the exact same thing here. Might seem a little repetitive to you, but, you know, if it ain't broke, don't fix it, as the kids say. Plus, that will allow us to have a pretty good handle on what we actually need to be focusing on for production development. Alright, that's looking good, looking a-okay. We have another messenger here. Let's sell some more stuff, why don't we? Absolutely, we can. We'll buy some chickens. Always buy hemp, always buy wheat, always buy metal parts. And other than that, we're looking good. So, some nice incremental progress here. And it is March already. So now we have that. This is a right mess right here. We gotta do something about this. So we should probably try to mitigate this weird collision of lines over here, or we could just ignore it. I kind of like that option sometimes. But all kidding aside, we do need to start filling in this space a little bit more. And since we have this lovely fence right here, what if we took this opportunity to take some spruce trees, just kind of line this up, and create a little barrier area here. This is going to take a very long time, isn't it? That's fine. We're all appreciators of the methodical process here, right? Even if it does take a while. That's part of the appeal of this game, in my personal opinion, that you can do stuff like this. It's not going to be perfect, but that's fine. Anyway, the idea behind this is we can go ahead and get some trees planted. And then we can come back and put some other houses on the other side here. And because there's trees, it'll be easier for us to disguise the cruel reality of having to have four-sided house plots on a curved area of the map. So just a little trick to get a little bit more something out of the game without having to be beholden to its limitations. So once they have all these trees planted, that fits pretty nicely. That's going to be nice when that's all taken care of there. So we'll give them a little bit more time to get that all planted up. Then we'll come right behind them with some interesting shaped house yards. So probably just kind of the same thing as here, except we'll have the yards kind of converging in these trapezoidal shapes. If I can get somebody to plant has there always been a text here? Worker the closest forest will plant a tree here. I don't remember seeing that before, but maybe I just wasn't paying attention. Well, now I want somebody to do this. I want to watch them come and plant the tree that I've, seen them do 800,000 other times. But now that I know there's help text attached to it, gives it a little bit more meaning, And of course, it's going to take 800 years for them to, you know, actually do anything. Oh, messenger, what would you like to buy? We don't need any the rest of that. So we have this house with garden thing set up here. So if I rotate this... Now, this is where the F1 thing is going to become our friend. Because this is a very, very strangely shaped area over here. We're going to have to get a little creative. Just a little bit, though. So I think if I have this set up correctly, it should end up being something like this. And then we'll keep tracing it around, following the contours as we are required to. Basically, as much of a straight line as it will let me do, I want to make sure I take advantage of. That is attached right there. Go ahead and rotate this a tiny bit. And then just keep following the curve here. Now we can't let this get into tree demolishing territory. So what we're going to end up having to do, I think, for a lot of this is do some very strange lot shapes here. That's nothing we're not used to, though. So I think the strategy here is going to be to come in from this side and do one more kind of this shape. But we're going to have to get it away from these trees and then make it a interesting little wedge shape here. Rotate this, put it a little bit further back, and then we're going to make this not as severe of a little turn here. So we'll leave that just like that. And then we will use our friend, the little F1 command here, and take advantage of this. Now, we also, let's go ahead and pause this real quick. They're building houses quickly. So we have this weird little shaped gap right here. I'm going to take advantage of that and plant some more trees. As soon as it will let me, that is. So it's not going to let us plant a ton of trees. But we will have a couple places where we can probably get away with it. There's got to be some place right around here, hopefully. Maybe not. Okay, like I figured I was probably pushing my luck. But we can always come around here and put in some bushes, because we're not going to be able to have any accessible, well, really anything back here. But we can put bushes in. That will help dress up the back of the fence a little bit. Again, I would love to have more bush selections. I realize that's not the most important thing in the game development at this exact moment in time. But these trees grew up to be pretty big, so I'm not super worried about that. That should be perfectly fine. I know this is going to be kind of an odd shape, but that's fine. We are down with odd shapes here. That fills up a little bit of space there to be interesting. So let's watch them take a build of all this stuff and see what this ends up looking like. I'm excited to see. I think they've got all the trees planted back there, so we should be in pretty good shape. Hopefully. Of course, now they decide to, you know, not do turbo speed building as soon as I'm talking about, hey, let's watch them build something. Well, that's just the way things go, you know. Not too much you can do. So we'll let them get around to that. But while we're here, go ahead and pop in some benches. We'll just put a few over here. No, I thought that was going to click. There we go. Come on. Man, they build fast. We got 35 of these guys. And then all we have left is this strange little intermediary lot here. I realize I probably put these houses a little too close together to have these spruce trees in the back. But, you know, what else are you going to do, huh? Alright, so that adds an interesting little dimension here. We do have the school right here. So I think for this area right here, I'm going to still put in a house. But obviously I'm going to have to adjust stuff a little bit. We'll go ahead and do one of these numbers here. Yes, I know it's a very small lot, and it's not exactly the preferred shape, but we can get over that. No big deal. I am going to kind of try to line it up to the side of the school just a little bit. And it wants to warp it to the fence. So I guess there's probably not too much I can do about that. But we can take care of that. Yes, it's going to be almost impossible for them to have a garden, but a little bit is better than nothing, as they say. So we've got this here. If we do something like this, then we can still have this house here. And, like they say, better than nothing. Now, if I'm a real pro, oh yes, look at this. I can, in fact, put at least a couple bushes in here. So, you know, that helps just a little bit. Oh, yes. Buy our shoes, buy our charcoal, buy our sunflower oil. Stop it. Buy our clothing. We will buy your metal parts, even though we already have 2,400. You can quite literally never have enough. We're actually making a good bit of leather too, which is good to see. Iron ore, we definitely need more. That rhymes poorly. All right. Yeah, I am liking this area a little more than I thought I would, to be honest with you. Seems pretty interesting, and this little abrupt transition here does not seem to be too obnoxious. We aren't going to put spruce trees around the entire thing. We'll just leave it for that corner. But now that we know this general idea isn't completely crazy, I wonder... No, that's not quite going to work here. We can, however, do this. I'll get this kind of lined up. Doesn't have to be perfect. We're not going for overall volume of land available to homeowners here. But we do want something that's a little bit of size at least. Okay, now what area is occupied here? Is it the fence? Yes. It is in fact the fence. So if I get this set up like so, a little bit of gap, it's not going to hurt anybody. We are going to have to finagle some stuff here. I think if I rotate this, we've got this kind of a strange thing going on here. We can leave that there, and then we've got a lovely spot right here to pop in, long day. Pop in a well right there. Get that all taken care of. Yes, this doesn't look too bad over here. This is kind of an awkward little choke point here, but I've seen worse. I've built worse. And now we're really starting to fill out this area just a little bit more. I am going to go ahead and put in the middle of this, see how much of a interesting shape I can make here. Because we are unfortunately still limited by the whole four-sided yard plot here. I think if I do something like that, and it doesn't have to match perfectly, but, you know, when stuff looks nice and uniform, even if it's slightly off, I think it's a little more interesting. Hopefully you agree. So we'll pop that there. That should be completely fine. And that will fill up a little bit more space, as well as give us a house with a little bit of a larger population of vegetables. These are looking good as well. Yeah, another marriage. So speaking of these horses that I haven't been speaking of, let's check out our wagon sheds. Yeah, these are still fully in use. Wow. Okay. I didn't think they would be such high demand. So we probably should be building some more wagon sheds. And this area down here is probably a pretty good candidate, all else equal, for a wagon shed. I wish you could have a wagon shed that has a adjustable size yard, or really any production building that has something like that. I wish we could have an adjustable size yard to go with it. I think that would be pretty spiffy. But the reality is we've got this, which is, you know, it's fine. I don't need to be complaining. This is a fantastic game with all sorts of fun, interesting features, and really should just be, you know, kind of thankful for what we've got. But I will go ahead and put a wagon shed right here, and right next to it, of course, a hay barrack for all of the horses, because hay is for horses. Just pop that right there, and that should hopefully aid this area's stuff. Excuse me. So it looks like we just have this one house right here left to go, and then we'll be building our wagon shed. We'll get that all configured up, and we're going to be pretty close to out of time for today's episode by that point. We'll have time for a little bit more. So while we're waiting for that, why don't we go ahead and get this configured up here. Try to maintain a general area here we can use. We are going to run into the issue of the different rotated buildings kind of not super cleanly meshing with each other. But, you know, it's not really that big of a deal. So I think we can leave this like so. Move this back just a touch there. Okay, wagon shed is well on its way. And of course, having it right next to the cart shed might be a little overkill, but these do have different purposes and have different capacities, so I don't think it's that bad. All right, so we'll go ahead and order a wagon. We don't have any draft horses, so this is fine to make sure this is done this way. Go ahead and get stuff preloaded. As soon as we see food and stuff going in there for the horses, we can go ahead and start that process. And of course, because now we have animals here, we are going to have a platform so they can get water without having to take away all the water from the wells that the citizens use. And it looks like this is going to be stocked pretty well pretty soon. So let's go up to our stable, all the way up here, and prepare 3 draft horses. And of course, the farms are going quite swimmingly. Draft horses, I do know, die at some point. I don't remember exactly when that is. But there's no harm in having the 3 oldest horses go do a tour of duty, as it were. So these horses are 25 years old. That's pretty old. Yeah, stuff's looking fine here. Yeah, we'll be a-okay to have horses in here. So, as we are nearing the end of today's episode, got a couple more minutes left. Let's think about what we might want to be our cover photo. I think the no-brainer, honestly, is right here with this guy in the foreground. Make sure I have enough headspace for the logo at the top. Now, I don't want the mouse to move around that much. Yeah, we'll do this. So that'll be the thumbnail for today. We've got this last house to get built here. I might put a couple more down since we have the time. Yeah, why not? We need to keep the area around the school open somewhat. We actually could close this completely off with a fence and have these people go through here. We will probably mess with that in the next episode, or if I have the chance to do a live stream between now and then. Go ahead and get this lined up a little bit better, like so. Then we'll do the same thing over here. Well, kind of the same thing. There we go. 2 more houses. They should be able to get those done sooner rather than later. And that really helps fill in this area up here. It's slightly randomized. It's not completely, but it's also not completely a grid. So it's a decent improvement. I will definitely take that. And we do have wagons here. Looks like they're not in super high demand, which is a little annoying since we took the trouble to, actually get stuff done. But that's fine. Now we can actually have hay stored strategically over here. So yeah, this is really coming along. Lots of good progress. And I think we have something we can be proud of here. So we'll let them finish out these last 2 houses, and that's probably going to do it for this week's episode. So while they're taking care of that, of course, this is when I remind you that I do live stream on Twitch at twitch.tv/JCTheBeard, playing Ostriv and other games as well. So make sure you get followed over there so you don't miss anything. I try to stream at least once or twice a week. Hopefully this weekend I can stream a little bit and get some stuff done. I'm also going to start streaming here on YouTube since we passed the 1,000 subscriber mark, and I'm now in the YouTube partner program, which means I have all sorts of other fun stuff we can do. Hopefully community posts will be enabled on my account soon, and we can do all sorts of fun, engaging things and live streams. And I know a lot of you are really just interested in the whole city building thing, and I think I'm going to keep a lot of that here on YouTube and save Twitch for eventually some other types of games. But yeah, I'm just really thankful to all of you who have been a part of these videos and leave encouraging comments, and well, criticism's fine too. That's how you learn. But again, I'm just very, very thankful for each and every one of you who watch these videos. Whether you're subscribed or not, I hope you'll consider it, because we've got a lot of good stuff coming. But whether you are or are not, you are valued, you're appreciated, and I'm glad you're here. That's just about all the time we've got for today's episode. Hope to see you tomorrow for another episode of Timberborn, and then we'll be back to Ostriv on Sunday, Monday, ideally, assuming everything goes smoothly. So yeah, thanks again. We'll see you in the next one. Bye-bye.